for the hurricane updates. Can't remember where I even left off last time, but the power's back on in the house. Came on last night. And now we're just getting life back to normal. But the anxiety's still there. Like, that's one thing I was noticing today is like I've been keeping myself busy to kind of keep my mind off of everything that's that's happened in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks now, between the two hurricanes that we've been through. The first one wasn't so bad. Had a little, there was stress there. You don't realize that kind of just bogs you down and remains. And then, with the flooding situation that we were worried about, what if we had made the right decision and all that stuff. And before we were able to really get over that one, we were already aware that another one was coming. And every day when you pass by, like where I'm passing right now in this older neighborhood next to ours, you still see all their stuff out there. So that adds to the stress and the anxiety, whether you realize it or not. So I was even talking to my neighbors today, and we're all kind of like, we're all like doing the same thing, keeping ourselves busy, putting our houses back in order, throwing out all the food from our refrigerators, to keep our minds off of everything, I guess. And there's another one out there brewing. I got to look at that one. I haven't even looked to see what that one's about. I guess I should before I put everything back. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. You have like this anxiety and stress after this whole thing, because your whole life is getting uprooted. You worry about family, you worry about everything, So, hey, how's it going? Hey Sam, how's everybody doing? So yeah, just getting life back to normal. I'm gonna do some videos from my music. My music room was completely, I took everything out of there, so I took the opportunity to rearrange that room. So I'm gonna shoot some videos from there. I am going to reduce my vinyl collection, so that's gonna be a series of videos I'm gonna do, kind of going through the process of putting this room back in order, making it more functioning, like kind of music room. I have a keyboard in there for my daughter to come in and play, and I tool around on, and my guitars are in there, and the records and all that stuff. So I'm going to redo that room and reduce the vinyl. I need to get the vinyl down. I need to get that stuff, those albums, the ones that just gotta go. The ones I'm not going to put on, I already have a couple in mind. There's this guy, he's Irish, I believe. He played with Eddie Vedder. Really nice voice, Glenn Hansard. I like his voice. I like his music. You're gonna stop there, dude? Just kind of wondering. I like his voice and everything, but I just never really go, gee, I need to put on one of his albums. So just albums like that just need to go and really get it condensed down. I only have so much room for storage anyway. Then you have to put albums in places that aren't accessible. Then what's the point if you can't just go and grab an album and enjoy it? So I'm going to really just get it. It's the same thing I did with my CD collection a year or two ago. And I really weeded out some stuff. A friend of mine was really happy to get some of the stuff. And he's like, you sure you want to get rid of this? I'm like, yeah. I just, I don't listen to it. If I'm not listening to it, what's the point? And I think my CDs, I need to kind of do that still a little bit more, but I really need to do it with the vinyl. And just have this nice collection. I have plenty of room for, I have the room that I need. I'm over 1,000. I think I'm at 1,200 albums or something, but I need to get down to like, I don't know what my mark is as far as my storage space. I want to say it's somewhere between 900 and 1,000 where I could store albums comfortably, where I could get to them easily, pull them out and enjoy them. But there, there's going to be certain ones that are definitely going to stay. Thank you, Yuri. Am I pronouncing your name correctly? Uriel? And hello to everybody that's tuning in. Just giving you kind of like a last live update, since everything's getting back to normal. I'm going between two properties. we were able to sleep in our own bed last night, which was nice. With the power back on, it was funny because we kind of just made an effort, like as we were going through the house before the power came back on, to turn all the switches off, and so I didn't really realize, like, it's like when the power came back on, it's not like the TVs came on and all that. But I was in my bedroom and we had the windows open, but as I was walking through the room, the windows were on my left, and I felt this cool breeze like hit my neck on the right, and I'm like, you know, you notice it instantly, like, where'd that cool breeze come from? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So I went back and I put my hand up to the air conditioning vent in my room, and air was flowing through. Like, I didn't even hear, I guess I was so busy I didn't even hear the AC kick in. And, you know, usually you can kind of hear the AC come on when it's trying to adjust temperature. So I was like, oh, what the heck? And yeah, so I hit a light, and it's like looking at light for the very first time. You're like, ooh, you know, wow. You're just, you know, but at the same time, I was kind of like, you know, is it gonna stay on? Because 2 nights ago at 3:30 in the morning, the lights flickered and everybody got excited, but then they didn't stay on. So we all kept our generators going for another half hour, and we were kind of waiting to see what was going to happen, and it stayed on. So we're like, oh, and like one time it's like you got a little bit of it didn't even really go out, it just kind of dimmed. Everything in the house dimmed for a second. You're like, oh no, but it stayed on. So yeah, I'm just trying to, I think I just need a good tall, like a good drink, good couple shots of whiskey, get my mind scrambled up a little bit and just chill, you know. I haven't had a chance to relax. Like, even when I relax, I feel like I need to be doing something to get the house back. So yeah, and plus, like I was saying, you keep yourself busy too to kind of forget everything that was going on. So it's crazy. It's really nutso. But could be worse. There's people without homes. We're looking at, there was a lady that was, we have a Facebook group where people give away stuff free. I don't know if you guys have similar things, but there was a lady in there who had lost her home. She's living in a hotel. She's not getting any relief money yet. She has pets, and she's like legit, like she's saying, you know, you don't need to give me money. I'll take the dog food. I'll take whatever food or whatever. So you can tell she's not just trying to get money out of people. She did do like one of those GoFundMe sort of accounts, something similar. But she also said, I'll take, you know, if you want to, just bring me the supplies if you can, you know. So she's somebody who really needs something. So there's people on there looking for those things. So we're definitely fortunate. So I can't imagine her stress of losing everything. But it definitely makes you go, okay, we need to kind of prepare for these things a little better. Even though I've lived in Florida all my life, I've never seen this before, where we've had this many close calls. So makes you definitely reevaluate everything. But I'm going over to my other property now to drop off some gas cans, because once life gets settled, I can start, doing the yard work over there again, mowing the lawn, so putting everything there. And I'm gonna go to Walmart. Like, I feel like going to Walmart right now is like a privilege to go. Like, it feels like a normal thing that I'm actually going to Walmart. You can go, dude. They have a stop sign. You can go. You're gonna let them go. They have the stop sign. They're actually waiting for you. There we go. Well, at least everybody's being courteous. But all the lights are back on. That seems good. The road I just came off of, that's where about 5 or 6 power lines were down. That's completely done now. And you just see tree limbs all over the place. These guys are going to have a lot of work. They're actually set up places where people can go and drop their stuff off. And I guess that helps the waste management guys who have to go around and do all this. I tried to cut all my tree limbs down where it's easy for them to grab, but I don't know if sometimes they send around these machines that claw it, just grab big claws of, big old bushes of tree limbs and throw it in the back. So I and then at my house, it's like we had to throw out everything in the fridge. I went out today and like something poked a hole in the bag and there was an egg like all dripping down the street. So I had to get the hose out and clean that up. So it looks like garbage came today. They picked up the garbage, but they haven't picked up any of the, this is my assisted living. So they got the garbage, but they left all the trees and stuff. So they'll probably have a different service coming around to get that. Now it was kind of the plan to downsize my vinyl. It's kind of been in my mind. You know, I like to buy, everybody, you know, I think part of any collector is that thrill of buying something, right? And I have access to a record store. I have a lot of access around here. So, and I get really good prices because they hook me up because I help them with their videos and stuff. So I think any part of that hobby, you start collecting. Oh, this one looks great. You buy stuff that you probably never would have bought before. Oh, this looks pretty. Wow, look at this recording. And I kind of did the same thing. Like I said, I did it with my CDs before, but I also did it with books. I had, because Friends of the Library, you can get these really good books, really decent shape at libraries around here for 50 cents to $1. You get books. And I had my laundry room, because I didn't have anywhere else to put them. I already had, I have a bookshelf in my bedroom with all my books and all the books I've read. But I filled up a laundry room. I put in shelves in there and just filled it with just books. I had, I don't know how many books I had, of books I wanted to read. But then I went in there one day and I started noticing I got more anxious as I got near those books, because it's like, I don't think in a lifetime I'm going to read all these books. And then I started feeling like, you know, like anxiety, like towards my books. And I'm like, this is not what this is supposed to be about. I walk in the other room and I look at the books that I've read, and it's not every book that I read. If there's a book that I read and I didn't like, I get rid of it. But if there's a book I like or a certain author, I'm going to keep their books. And I look at that one and I feel different about that bookshelf, because it feels like I accomplished that. Like, and I look at the books and I go, what do I remember out of those books? And you know, there's a couple where I'm like, oh, I can't remember anything out of that book, but I remember liking it. So that's going to make me want to go back and read it. Because it's not that I didn't enjoy it. Sometimes your memory just doesn't allow you to remember a whole book, I think, even though you spent time with it. But there's some books like To Kill a Mockingbird, Slaughterhouse-Five, you know, just certain books that you go, oh, you know, I can, once I start thinking about it, I can think about a lot of things about that. So anyway, yeah, I got rid of the books out of that laundry room because it was too much. It was just, it was not a good feeling, and that's not what I wanted. So I got rid of it, and I kind of am getting the same feeling with my albums. I'm kind of going, you know, I want that killer, no filler, but also I need to, you know, people do this, but they buy albums that they think they're going to put on when other people are there, and it just never happens. Nobody really, not in life, not my life. It's kind of too busy. If I get a chance to have somebody over, we're really not putting an album on, you know. If we do, you know, or, you know, usually if we get together, we're going to play a game or do something like that, and I don't want to get up constantly and put an album on, so we'll stream like a playlist that we've created of songs we all like. So yeah, it was kind of in my head, long story short. It was in my head to kind of start reducing it anyway, just to get the things like, oh, why did I buy that, and then, you know, and just reduce it down to where it's where I need it. If there's anything else I need to listen to, I can stream it. If there's something I just have to have, then yeah. But a lot of these albums I don't. I mean, there's certain artists I do. There's certain artists that I've discovered after, you know, once I got into vinyl, and I'm going to keep them, like Tom Waits. I was into Neil Young before, but I've really gotten into Neil since. Bob Dylan, you know, Billy Joel, obviously, some Elton John, but not everything by him. There's certain artists I want in there, and these albums that mean something, and I want to just go over and just be able to pull an album out and put it on and say, yep, I like it from beginning to end. So I'm going to have to make some tough decisions, but you got to make that decision of, do I really want this album? You know, why am I holding? It's weird, like there's an album that an artist or an album that you really don't care about, but for some reason your mind saying hold on to that, you know. And I'm battling with that whole thing of why am I holding on to these albums that I've, you know, almost forgotten about, you know. So, and again, is it that, oh, if somebody comes over someday you play it, or why am I holding on to that album? So I'm really getting that out of my system, learning how to discipline myself, I guess you could say, to where I'm enjoying it. So I don't really want to end the stream, so I'm gonna leave you guys hanging just for a minute. I'm just gonna get a couple gas cans out of here, pull the garbage cans up. I'm just gonna do that for a second. So just hang out, get some questions loaded up for me if you have any more questions. But yeah, that's the theory. But I have thought about reducing my album collection before. This is the perfect opportunity to do it because all of my albums are literally packed in bins, and you'll see that in the upcoming videos. Maybe I'll do those live because I really don't want to do the editing right now. So I might do that, but you'll see in the middle of my music room, it's just bins and they're all filled with records. So as I put them back on the shelf, some need to go on the shelf and some need to go to where they're going bye-bye. And I'll find out if there's any that are worth anything so I can get a couple bucks off of it and put it back in my pocket. And we'll go from there. But we'll get the stuff out of the back. Like I said, if you have any questions for me, just put it in the comments. I'm doing this live off of YouTube. I'm not doing StreamYard, so I'm just kind of looking at the bottom here. Let me see, any questions? Yeah, I can do that. And I'm really picky. Like I've sold some albums on eBay, but I listen to them before, and if I hear a pop or anything, I don't do a grading system. I'm not meant for grading, but I take really good pictures of the album. I take good pictures of the cover. I point out any issues with the cover itself. And if I hear, like a pop or anything, I say, yeah, it has these kind of little static pops here and there, but no skipping. So I try to be really upfront with a kind of like just a natural, like if I was to see you in person and talk to you about an album I want to sell you, I tell you what I hear and what I see, so you know what you're buying. So yeah, it's not a bad idea. I can let people know. I can do the vinyl auction thing too, but it'd be a long time down the road because I don't know how these guys do it so freely. I guess they just go with it, spot the albums, and you just, um, when they say mint, near mint, or I guess they don't really say mint that often, but near mint. Sometimes I go, you know, I want to be really honest. I want somebody to know what they're getting, straight up, because I don't. I guess you take that gamble of when you buy an album. There could be pops, but I'd like to. It's kind of neat if somebody could come up to me and say, "Hey, yeah, this one has pops and cracks. Try to clean it, do whatever." Um, so, yeah, that's not a bad idea. I could kind of let you guys know what I do if I put any up there on eBay. All right, so let me get the gas cans out of here, and I'll be back on the road. Okay. So you get what I'm saying? Okay. Sorry for the delay there. All right, no more delay. I'm back in the car. Yeah, I just I want people to enjoy that collection. I mean, something a hard lesson I had to learn when I got back into vinyl going. You get it easy with CD. Everything's clear, but there is something you definitely get with vinyl, that warm feel. There's just definitely a difference in the sound to me, and it's not like putting up the bass or something. It's a warm feel you get from that vinyl sound on certain records, I guess. See, there's ones I probably need to get rid of. Like, I like the band. What are they called? I want to say Live, but it's not Live. They had that song Tonight, We Are Young. What is the band's name? Why is Live in my head? But they are definitely they used digital recording, like a lot of effects and things like that. You could tell it was really made for CD. It doesn't sound great on vinyl, and I need to probably get rid of that stuff that was really recorded for CD. There's some that they do a good job that's digital, that they've done a good job of kind of giving it that warm vinyl sound. Like Pearl Jam 10, I think sounds fine on album, but there's some that are like, wow, yeah, this is I might as well just have this on CD. So those are probably ones I just need to get rid of. You get that excitement where you're like, oh, look at this album that I have on CD. It's finally out on album. I need to grab it. Well, why? I have it on CD. I could see in some cases why you would, but some it's like, I guess I had a different idea of how I wanted to do my collection before. Now I'm realizing, look, I can't have a library. I can't. If I had millions of dollars and I had a big house, yeah, it wouldn't overwhelm me. I would have that library room. I would have a library of books. I'd have a library of music, and then I could just show it off. It'd be awesome. Have people over. You like that album? I have it right here. That would be different. But I don't have that space, and I don't want to feel like I'm gonna be like these albums are gonna fall in on me at some point. I wanted to I want to enjoy it. So that's where I am at this point. Yeah, Pearl Jam first two and the last one. That's where I am with Pearl Jam. I don't like a lot of their stuff in between. I do like the song, I think it's called Just Breathe, that Willie Nelson and his son covered. I like that song, but I don't like the rest of that album. It's like just noise to me. I don't get it. I don't like it. It does make me anxious. There's certain music that I realized I don't like this because it's making me want to jump out of my skin. I just don't like it. And I even saw Pearl Jam in concert. God, it was before my kids, so it's over 20 years ago. And I liked the ones that I knew, but other than that, it was just like a bunch of noise to me, and everybody else was getting into it, and I'm like, I don't get this. So they just as a whole, yeah, but I definitely like 10 from beginning to end. I like Verses, and then after that they get just I don't know what they were doing after that. It didn't really impress me. But the last album I did like, and I do need to go back and give that a second listen. That last album I won't get rid of because I got a independent. Did I get a listening party version? It's either a listening party version or an independent record store version, and the vinyl itself looks just killer. So that I won't get rid of. But if it's up to the vinyl and stuff like that, if it's an album I think I need to get rid of, and it's on blue vinyl or something, I don't care. It's got to go. But if it has a cool vinyl, it might make a difference as far as if I keep it. But I don't know. That's where I am right now. I might even just I noticed, like, even with the books, I can't tell you what books I got rid of. I have some idea of what books I had, but I don't miss the books. They're gone. I just grabbed them, put them in boxes, and got them out of there before I had a chance to find a reason for an emotional attachment to the book. And that's what I want to do with the albums. Oh, this one, nope, gotta go. And I already have some in my head, like that Glenn Hansard. There's Steve Forbert. I like him. He was kind of like a Dylan sounding guy. but I don't put it on. It's got to go. But there are some in there that kind of come to mind, but I'm like, no, I'm going to keep it. Like, what's his name from The Who? So I'm not remembering things right now. The bass player, Entwistle. He had an album that he did with Joe Walsh on guitar. I found that for $1 at a thrift store. That album I don't play often, but I know, I'm like, oh, because it's not in memory, so I'm going to put it in, I'm going to play it, because that's a good album. And there's that other one too with what was his name? I think the song was Leather and Steel, and it had a lot of guest stars, but it had Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, and they did a lot of background vocals, and you could hear it in there, and it's a good album, so I'm going to keep that. But there's a couple other ones that are like, I know when I see it, like, I just need to pull it. And I've done pretty good so far with my jazz. I pulled out some jazz that I had older records, but they were really bad shape. And I just pulled them out of there. So I've already pulled about 10 to 15 jazz albums out. And some that are reissues that are in really good shape, but I'm just not going to listen to. Like, there's an Oscar Peterson, and I don't know if Glenn's watching, but there's We Get Requests by Oscar Peterson, and I like that album. I'm keeping it. But there was another one, Night Train or Train something, and I just wasn't for me. I'm not a big jazz piano guy anyway, but that one I was like, oh, gotta go. I made the quick decision, get it out of there. I know I don't like it. I was just keeping it because I like having this nice jazz collection, but the jazz collection will still be a decent size without that album. So just making those decisions, trying to make that quick decision, because you know the album enough without, like I said, coming up with a reason to have an emotional attachment to it. Because as soon as you go, oh, you're screwed, then you got to battle with it. And these are just material things, which is crazy, but I guess that's how we work as collectors. That's just how it goes. But I'm almost to Walmart, so I'm going to cut it when I get there. Like I said, it almost feels like a guilty pleasure going to Walmart right now. I get to walk around and just look at crap, and because I'm looking around and it looks normal again, but I know there's still people struggling right now. I was sort of in their shoes the other day, where other people were just living their life, walking their kids and their dogs, and I'm like, damn, must be nice. Not like feeling like angry towards them. It's not their fault they had electricity and their house wasn't affected. You're just like, dang. But now then I have everything back almost to normal, and I'm feeling bad for those other people who it's going to take a long time to recover, that have lost their whole house. So it's like anxiety and stress and guilt in a way after one of these things. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I always think of, there's parts of the United States, and they just went on with their lives like nothing. But it's the same thing like when I'm hanging out at my house and there's a tornado that rips through somewhere and people's lives are affected. My life didn't change. So I don't know, just these thoughts that go in my head. I guess they have this side closed for some reason at Walmart. Not sure why, but the parking lot is packed. Woo. A lot of people here today. People trying to get, maybe because they're stocking their refrigerators and stuff back up. I don't know. But it'd be nice if somebody went, though. That'd be awesome if somebody over here blocking a line of traffic because they just decide to have a conversation. I don't know why this guy didn't go. So I guess parking in the back. It's good. I need to get some weight off me. So let's see. There's a couple things down there. I'll read it before I get out. This guy's nope. You're gonna wait. Not wait. I'm happy parking in the back. I just don't want to hit anybody getting there. Wow. I mean, when I say the parking lot's full, I'm not joking. I'm not going to park there. All right. Okay, so let me park. Let me see what you guys are writing me, and I'm going to call it. Let's see. I've gotten honest about buying a lot less than what I used to when it comes to vinyl. Yeah. Am I going fishing? No, I'm not. I don't fish. Believe it or not, I live in Florida. I don't fish. Not really into the sport. I eat fish. I like fish. I like seafood. But no, I don't go fishing. Yeah, it's just not one of my things. I get more enjoyment like sitting back, listening to an album, or creating my own music, or reading a book, kind of thing. I've gone with a friend who was fishing, and I brought a book and hung out and enjoyed each other's company, that kind of thing. But that's it. So thanks for tuning in, guys. This should be the last live one for a while. Just want to let you know I'm kind of back home, getting things back to normal, and I'll start filming some videos at home. I'm not sure if I'll do those live or just do like a one shot video and then post those. But keep in tune. I appreciate you guys watching, all your good words of everything. I appreciate it. And then I'm going to kind of take you through my process of getting this music room put in order, and you'll see what albums I'm getting rid of. So if there's albums you guys are interested in the comments, put it in the comments while I'm doing that, and I can try to figure out how we could do that. I've never sent anything. I sell some things on eBay, so I know how to do things through eBay. I guess I could do the same thing. What am I talking about? I know how to take an album to the post office. It costs what, maybe about $4 or $5 to $6 to ship an album, because it's not that heavy. But anyway, I'll keep you guys. Thank you. I'll stay safe. Yeah, appreciate you guys watching, and I will talk to you hopefully in the comments or on live streams.